the right to remain stupid. Everything you do not know can and will be used against you, most likely for profit.
We would like to apologize for the way in which politicians are represented in this program. It was never our intention to imply that politicians are weak-kneed political time servers who are concerned more with their personal vendettas and private power struggles than the problems of government. Nor to suggest at any point that they sacrifice their credibility by denying free debate on vital matters, in the mistaken impression that party unity comes before the well-being of the people they supposedly represent. Nor to imply at any stage that they are squabbling little toadies without an ounce of concern for the vital social problems of today. Nor indeed do we intend that viewers should consider them as crabby, ulcerous little self-seeking vermin with furry legs and an excessive addiction to alcohol and certain explicit sexual practices which some people might find offensive. We are sorry if this...
How'd you get muted?
And welcome once again, fellow projectiles, to another episode of Side Project Live. Once again, Morris, Illinois, from the second floor of the Side Project Tower, it's Jim Goebel.
Hi there, and from the very damp basement studio in Lockport, Illinois, Eric Ferguson.
And it looks like you've actually got something behind your desk this time. I can't see your leaf blower.
It's nothing. There we go. See about that? Yeah, all the junk that's in my basement. I thought a backdrop of any sort would be better than the usual view.
Yeah, I've been thinking about doing something like that here, but I'm in the bedroom, and it's like I don't have a whole ton of room. I've been thinking about getting one of those. What are they? The mobile. The clothing racks that are on wheels, and then putting some sort of a like a green sheet on it, so that if I decided I want to do anything fancy in the in post production, I could put stuff up there. But then I decided I'm just too lazy to put anything up there in the post production, so I scrapped that. But,
do the chroma key thing. You can get even secondhand. You can get like photography backdrops. They have telescoping tripod. Put that up, crossbar, and you can have a whatever, a bed sheet, anything, whatever color you want, toss that over that instant backdrop, take it down, and you're done.
Yeah, I've actually been thinking about purchasing one of them vinyl banners, and I've been thinking about getting one for the state convention coming up, but I just don't have the money for it.
I hear that.
Right now.
Plainfield Sign Company.
Plainfield Sign Company, huh?
Plainfield Sign Company would be my recommendation.
Done business with them before, huh?
I have indeed. The Ferguson for State Rep signs came from there.
Ah, okay.
As a matter
well,
of fact.
if I'm in the market for one anytime soon, I will definitely definitely consider them. And
speaking of campaign signs, I have a whole pile, like 200 of these campaign sign wires. And these are the ones for the plastic bag type. Like, I forget what size exactly, but because they come in a few different sizes. I can go measure it, get a ruler, of course. I got a bunch of them I'd love to get out of my house. So if somebody's using those in a campaign, please, free of charge, take them away.
And you're talking to the right people about that, because first of all, back from the Oscar acceptance speech, we've got our actor in resident Lex Zorn joining us today.
Hey.
So how's it going with you?
Oh, pretty good. Just had a little equipment trouble this morning, but finally got through it, so I'm ready to rock. So,
is it just me, or have you been doing a lot of screen tests and that sort of thing lately?
A bunch. I've been in 11 films this year alone, so yeah, it's
11.
Yeah, 11.
I know you did that thing for the National Geographic Channel, which I actually saw when it aired.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't realize you were. I knew you were in a few, but at 11, I did not know that.
Yeah, the work has been snowballing since I made that TV appearance. So.
Wow, that's awesome. So you doing any cheesy direct-to-video horror films that have the production quality of a ninth grader's audio-visual project?
Yeah, hopefully have some out in the near future. I'll keep you posted on that. I've been in quite a wide variety of genres, including horror. I haven't been, except for a horror comedy, Creeporia, I haven't been a victim yet in any horror movies, although one of my characters in an upcoming film does die from autoerotic asphyxiation, so that was an interesting scene to film.
Well, how's it going, Eric?
Okay then.
That is something I never ever thought I would ever hear come out of Lec's mouth. That's just weird.
Yeah, I just won $50. I bet Jim I could get it.
You missed out on the pool. All right.
It's the only film I've ever been in so far that I'm not going to show to my kids.
Well, I've been in quite a few that I won't show to my kids, if you know what I mean. But okay, this is going off the rails, and we're not even in more than a couple of minutes in.
Sorry, Steve.
Okay, so a few things. First off, this has been a very, very interesting campaign season, and because of that, we do have a couple of guests on our show today. First off, we have Lupe Diaz. He's with the State Libertarian Party. He's now you're the director of the convention this year, or what's your official title?
My official title is Convention Committee Chairman.
Convention Committee Chairman, okay. And then from Chicago, we've got Ben Koyl, who is not only running for Attorney General, but you're also the lawyer that was in charge of the petition challenge, correct? Oh. So now you're not only running for Attorney General, but you're also the attorney in charge of the ballot access challenge, correct?
Hello? Hello?
Oh, can't hear you, Ben. Okay. Let's see what we got here.
Hello?
Okay, so what we'll do, we'll come back to Ben in just a moment, and we'll head on over to Lupe here, if I can. Oh, that's right. Okay. Now Lupe is not on camera, so I'm putting Eric on here, video. Oh, okay. Ben says he can hear us. He's never actually used this before. Okay. Hey, Eric, why don't you go ahead and chat with Ben for a couple of minutes to walk him through, to test a few things for his mic, and we'll talk to Lupe here. So Lupe, how you doing?
All right.
Now, you're from the area, if I'm not mistaken, right? You're like Addison way?
Actually, Bloomington.
Oh, you're from Bloomington.
Yeah, a little south.
I'm thinking Addison for some reason. Don't ask me why. I've not been to Addison in a long time, and ever since Solozzi Edelson closed, I've had no reason to go to Addison. Of course, when they were open, I had no reason to go there either. Those who are from Chicago know what I'm talking about. As I take a drink of some refreshing iced tea. So now you said your title was again the convention chairperson.
Yeah, the Convention Committee Chair.
Convention Committee Chair, and now are you serving the state LP in any other sort of capacity, or is that pretty much it for this year?
Yeah, that's pretty much it for this year. I was past chairman for 3 years, and I kind of wanted to be low key, so that's pretty much what I'm doing this year. Is just the convention committee.
Okay, so tell us a little bit. Tell us a little bit about the convention, what we have going on, and promote it.
All right. Actually, the early bird special was ended yesterday, but as we had technical difficulties, we extended it through tomorrow, so it'll be going on until tomorrow. The early bird specials, for those that haven't registered, go ahead and do so right now. Friday night is going to kick off with the schedule is going to be pretty tight all weekend, so there's pretty much no time to to have breaks in between. But Friday night we're going to kick it off with a welcome reception with a candidates forum. With all our statewide candidates are invited. The media and all the public is invited to come out and see us out in Bolingbrook at the Holiday Inn. We're going to have some other libertarian fun activities, and we're also going to do a libertarian freedom show with Brian out at the DuPage County LP chair. I think you've had him on your show a couple of times.
Quite a few, actually. And so that's the Friday night. So what do we have going on for the Saturday?
Oh, Saturday we're going to have, of course, you all, three of you awesome people there in attendance to host our Libertarian Good Morning Wake Up Show. What's that, about 8:30? Mm-hmm. And then we'll go into our Libertarian National Committee Executive Director. He's going to give us a talk on today's Libertarian Party heroes. And we're also going to have the Illinois Normal Executive Director, Dan Lynn, in attendance. He's going to be giving us a speech on cannabis prohibition. And then we'll all have our luncheon keynote speaker is going to be Julie Fox, our Illinois candidate this year. Mm-hmm. And let's see.
I have to say, and this is no means disrespect to any of the other candidates running, but for some reason, I have a lot of her campaign. I mean, I think she's got really got the most going for her, and this is just personal opinion. Like I said, no disrespect to others, and it's mainly because she's the fact that she's the only one that's, if I'm not mistaken, got a degree in accounting, running for an office that needs accounting. I mean, go figure that.
Yeah, and that is true, and she's the most qualified for the position, and should be the one to win this November.
Yeah, I'm very, very, very excited about hearing what she has to say. I've actually been to her house for 4th of July last year, and her and Thomas, man, those two have a ton to say. In fact, I've been wanting to get Thomas on the show. He gave me a DVD of his that he produced to review, but I've still not watched it. I keep saying I'm going to, but it's hard to find the time anymore. So, but at any rate, so there we go. There's with the lunch, and so what else? What else is? One thing I forgot to ask. Totally slipped my mind. What is the overarching theme of the convention this year?
It is. I know I should know it off the top of my head, right? Let me get that. Because we've went back and forth on the title, and we finally have it. Let's see. Oh, it's Constitutional Liberty, First Millennium. Basically, constitutional government has existed for 1,000 years, and this is the 1,000th year anniversary, of course. 1014. I've been trying to do a little more research on it to kind of give a brief summary of what actually it means, but back when they started with the Constitution, and they've went back and found that our founders actually utilized a lot of.
I'm sorry, you utilized a lot of. Can you hear me, Lupe? Okay. Can anyone hear me right now? I think, did we lose?
I can, yeah. The thing is being real strange today, I think.
Yeah, it might be. Lupe, can you hear me?
Check to see if he's muted. This has been weird today.
It has been weird. Okay, he is not muted. Lupe, can you hear me? Lupe is on his isn't actually on a PC today.
He's on the mobile thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the few times I've tried that, it usually hasn't worked very well.
His video's still going.
Yeah. Okay, let's see what we got here.
Ben, on the other hand, we have video, but nothing else.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see. What can we do?
He's clapping. We can see him.
You know, when I saw Ben appear on the screen, looks nothing like the picture he has on Google Hangouts. But if you guys have ever played the computer game Half-Life or Half-Life 2, he looks like the main character, Gordon Freeman. He's laughing, but I can't hear him. Yeah, if he really wanted to be like Gordon Freeman, he would have a crowbar. Smashing cardboard boxes with it. Okay, all right, we're having a little problems here. Okay, Lupe, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna re-invite you. I'm gonna kick you out here, and actually, if I do that, you will be banned.
Yeah, don't do that. It doesn't work very well.
Yeah, no, that doesn't.
That one the hard way. Oopsie.
Let's see here.
Yeah, still no sound from you, Ben.
Lupe, are you back?
Yeah, I just seen that for some reason I was muted. I guess I was talking too much and my phone decided to set me up.
Okay. All right. Awesome. I was wondering what happened there because this has been a show to remember. But
yeah, no kidding.
So
yeah,
okay.
Check for that too, Ben. Make sure you didn't mute yourself inadvertently.
Oh, that's not. Yeah, that's a good idea. Good thing there. But anyway, Lupe. So as I was saying, so what is the overarching theme of the convention this year?
It's constitutional liberty, first millennium. Basically, it's constitutional government, form of government existed since 1014. I've been trying to do a little more research on it to give a better backdrop of what it is. But actually, kind of what I've been doing, the research that I've done is that they've written about that our actual founders actually utilized some of this when they built our Constitution.
Okay. All right. So now we've gone up to Julie Fox and her being the keynote speaker. So how's the afternoon and evening playing out on the convention?
All right, in the afternoon, we're going to have our Illinois State University professor, Terry Knoll, will be joining us. He'll be going over, talking about, basically about the Bitcoin, since that's kind of hot topic right now. His title of his speech is going to be Liberty and Money, the Bitcoin Story. Terry Knoll, he's an awesome speaker. If anyone has ever heard him in the past, he's very interactive, and I think he gets people going. It's not going to be a boring economic class, so we'll have some fun.
I'm looking forward to that one because I'm really skeptical of all of the talk about alternate currencies and the gold standard and all of that. So I'll be very interested to hear what the professor has to say on that. So let's continue on here. What else do we have?
We're gonna have a who's driving workshop. It's kind of like a interview with the candidates and stuff, and they kind of go back and forth with that. And Crystal Drzezinski and Lex Green will both be hosting that together. And then we'll have what's in your Liberty Outreach Toolbox, which I believe you're part of that panel discussion. Mm-hmm. I think it's going to be awesome. We'll also have Libertarian Jeopardy. And then, of course, we'll have Libertarian Happy Hour. Let's see. And, of course, I cannot forget our banquet keynote speaker will be Ben Swan, which his topic for our convention will be How Liberty Wins Over Fascism, which here is going to be an awesome speech.
I'm definitely looking forward to that. Let's see here. Ben, oh gosh, Ben is open to capture. He's taking a picture. Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna have a hat. You can take a picture of me later. Okay. So what? So that takes us into. So So you were talking about Ben Swan. Now, is he the last one for the day, or what's what is there anything going on after him?
Yeah, and we'll have our annual award ceremony after or before his speech, and then we'll have a live auction right after the banquet dinner, which is a big fundraiser for us that helps us keep the party afloat and going for the whole year. As most people know, that this is a volunteer organization, so every little bit counts to pay the bills for like internet and websites and stuff like that. Pretty much that's pretty much it for Saturday.
Now, how about Sunday? How's that Sunday shaping up?
Sunday's shaping up is usually our annual business meeting. It will be in the morning part of the day, and that's when the party elects state or officers for the state party. And this year, all officers are open. They're up for either re-election or kicked out, or pretty much let's see. We also will be going over the bylaws, make some modifications there this year. I think it's going to be the first time in like 4 years we've actually discussed bylaws, which most people know, and libertarians could fight over a lot of little wording in the bylaws. But this year, hopefully, we'll do it for about 30 minutes. But then we'll have our luncheon keynote speaker, or luncheon speaker is the Libertarian National Campaign Committee Executive Director Evan McMahon.
Okay.
His topic is going to be libertarian leadership in a two-party world. Which I hear he's got a lot of stuff going on with that right now, which is awesome. And of course, he was down in Springfield defending our petition as well.
Yeah, and one thing about Evan McMahon, I know him a little bit, not really well, but I've heard him speak several times. He's a very great advocate for liberty, and one reason why I particularly think he's a strong asset to us is that he's openly gay, and I really think he can. I'm really hoping that he'll be able to reach a lot of people in the gay community, because I've been telling, as a straight man, I think a lot of times gay people you write me off like, what do I know? But I think what I'm hoping that Evan will be effective at doing is showing gay people what I've been trying to show them, which is that we can have a status in which gays have equal status, and at the same time we have peace, prosperity, and freedom. That they're not mutually exclusive. You don't have to take the Democratic Party just because they claim to be on your side, and take everything else that goes with it too.
Oh, one thing before we continue, I keep forgetting to do this, and I'm totally apologizing, but let me see, where is it? Here it is. I keep forgetting to tell people about our contact information. You can, as this loads, I should have kept this in Notepad, but there you go, and as it opens up the rich text document, and taking its dang sweet time. But you can contact us on Twitter. Our hashtag is TheSideProject2. Our email is TheSideProject2@gmail.com. You can hear us live on Saturday mornings, 9 a.m. at RadioFubar.com, and you can hear the audio replay on TuiVille.com every Sunday at noon. And the file is opening up here. If you talk about us, use the hashtag TSP Live if you're going to talk, and a little extra thing, if you're going to talk about the ballot access, use the hashtag GOP, Illinois GOP voter fraud. And let me see here, we have our Google Voice number is 815-200-4912, and there you go. So, friend us on Facebook, circle us on Google+, or subscribe to us on YouTube if you want to see the video stream. Okay, so I think that would be really interesting. I had no idea that, I mean, it doesn't really matter, but that the speaker on Sunday is homosexual, but that's, the Republicans talk about being the big tent, but take with that information what you will. But so that takes us up to lunchtime. Now, being Sunday, obviously we're not going too late. So what else do we have after lunch?
After lunch, we'll actually conclude the annual business meeting, and which will go into a break, and then the new officers and the new state organizing committee will meet, and that'll be their first meeting together, and it'll be a live meeting after the lunch.
You know, one thing that really sucks about the timing of the convention, and I got to find it here. It's just real. See if I. Oh, dang it. Find it, but there's been some articles in the Sun Times, obviously, about the whole ballot access situation, and they're having Morrison Security, the guy who here it is. Morrison Security, the company owned by this. Let me see here. Crud! This is live radio. I should have had this open. Sorry, folks. Come on. Freaking Windows. Here it is. I got too much open. While I'm loading stuff, I also forgot to mention we have the Q&A app open, so if you got any questions or whatever, you can always go ahead and give us a...
Hello?
You know, have any questions? Okay, now this thing here. Okay, on the September 13th, that's the Saturday of the state Illinois Libertarian Party convention. Bruce Rauner, who's running for governor in Illinois, he has ties to the Morrison Security firm, and the owner, Sean Morrison, is having a Southwest Cook County Republican picnic in Worth on the 13th, which I believe is just 15-20 miles from Bolingbrook. And according to the invitation, Rauner will be the guest of honor at the event with free admission, but donations gladly accepted. And, oh, man, I mean, it's too bad that I just found this out because there's just so many possibilities there. Oh, boy. But we don't want to start any trouble, do we?
Of course we do.
Oh, yeah, true, but we don't want to admit it. So, okay, we're still having some problems with Ben. Ben, Ben, go ahead and try to say something there.
Hello.
Hey, we got Ben.
There he is.
Cool. Awesome. So, Lupe, how long have you been with the party here in the state?
Marks.
Did I say Ben or Lupe?
I think
You said Lupe.
Lupe. Okay. Yeah, I meant Lupe. So Lupe, how long have you been with the party in the state?
The state party itself, I've been involved actively since about 2009.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 2009. In 2007, I kind of got interested in the Libertarian Party and started to inquire about it, and then actually in 2009 I co-founded the McLean County Libertarian Party here in Bloomington.
You didn't happen to co-found that with Lex by any chance, did you?
Yeah, Lex was one of a few people that I invited to attend our first meeting, and then we kind of all co-founded together, which was awesome.
You know, I'm going to say this right now. I do not know where the state party would be right now if it wasn't for Lex. Without him and his leadership right now, he's really kicking so much ass, especially this year. I'm telling you, man, that guy's a powerhouse.
Yeah, and just imagine if he won the governorship in 2010, where Illinois would be at right now.
Oh man!
Yeah.
Well, the only problem if he was governor, we'd have to get other libertarians in the state house as well, to really affect some change. Which we really do need to be running more people for the Illinois Senate and the Illinois House. But
Hey, I'll take a stalemate.
And I'll tell you,
yeah,
you know,
exactly. I will take a stalemate.
If Lex used the veto the way Gary Johnson did, it could make a big difference. Remember, Gary.
You know what? That is true. The state governors do have more power than the president does when it comes to that sort of thing. I mean, the president can veto, but I believe the state governors, including Illinois, I believe we have the line item veto.
A lot of governors do, yeah. And Gary Johnson vetoed 750 bills in 8 years as governor of New Mexico, and so yeah, if Lex just vetoed every bad bill, I mean, that could, I mean, and keep in mind, only 2 of Gary Johnson's vetoes were overridden. So yeah, I mean, a lot of people underestimate that power.
Yeah, well, look, this assembly has 6,300 House bills. How much is there to do? How many laws could you need to write every couple of years? It's absurd. I'll take a stalemate.
And yet, if we break the law and we use the excuse, and if we use, well, I didn't know that was a law, the court can come back and say, ignorance of the law is no excuse. Yeah. I don't have the time to memorize 6,300 new laws in addition to the 100.
Well, that's just bills, and most of them won't get on the calendar for vote. They won't get through, second round, third round. They'll never go anywhere. I'll take the stalemate. You're going to waste that much time and draft 6,300 pieces of legislation, most of which will never come up for vote. It's ridiculous.
And Harry Brown, when he ran for president, part of his platform is that he would automatically veto any bill that was too long. He wanted to force the lawmakers to make the laws very simple, make sure that there was nothing secretive hidden in there. I mean, gosh, I remember that so-called crime bill, for example. There are a lot of examples like this. I'm not singling this one out, but this is one of my favorite examples. You go back to Clinton's infamous crime bill that had the $40 million provision for midnight basketball, which got a lot of publicity. But there was also a little thing in there about I think it was about a $10 million grant to an unnamed school that was in a certain city, and it just so happened that whoever wrote that provision, his alma mater happened to be there. So I mean, there's all kinds of stuff like that goes on, and so that was one thing I loved about Harry Brown's platform. So yeah, but yeah, like I'm saying, Lex Green, man, that guy, he's awesome. He would be probably better as governor. He definitely shows to me that he actually has the stuff to be governor. But with the way the laws are written in this state, I mean, that's a long shot. He'd have a much better chance here in Indiana. I'm not saying that he would win, but I mean, he would be on the map because he'd get in the debates. He'd have automatic ballot access, and he could really make an impact.
Yeah, there's a lot of crap with that, and we're going to be talking with our other guest, Ben Koyl, here in just a moment about that. So Lupe, is there anything else you'd like to add about the state convention? Tell us what else is going on. Other things other than just the schedule. Are there be any vendors and whatever? I mean, give us a little more information there.
Oh, sure. Yeah, we'll have a few vendors present at the convention hall. All our candidates are invited to have all their campaign literature as well, and I encourage all people from the public that have no idea what the Libertarian Party entails to come out and see us Friday night. It's free of charge. There's no cover charge or anything. Just come out and see us. Check out our candidates. All seven of them will be present. There will be a candidate forum that Lex Green is actually hosting, which is I hear is going to be great.
Okay, if I might just say something about candidate forums. When me and Lec were there in 2010, 2011. It might have been 2010, where
11. It was 11.
Was 11? Okay, we spoke at the convention, and the candidate forums are really fun and they're really informative. And we actually had one with the presidential candidates. At that point, Gary Johnson hadn't thrown his hat into the ring yet, but it was really fun. There were some interesting ideas presented, and let me just say that Arlie Wrights knocked my socks off.
Yeah, he's great.
Oh gosh, that guy's awesome. In fact, I haven't seen anything from him on my Facebook page lately. I have to double check my settings because they've been goofing around with Facebook settings a lot lately in that. But all right, didn't mean to interrupt you there. Continue on, Lupe.
Oh, and then yeah, and Lex Green actually hosted that forum that you were speaking of, which I know this one will be even better with all 7 of our candidates that are actually nominated and going to November's ballot. Let's see, what else do we have? I mean, that's it. We'll have some food present too, so people could. It's basically like finger food, you know. It's not meal or anything like that, but we'll have food as well. So I encourage the public to come. Of course, all the media as possible would be nice to see them there.
Out of curiosity, have you sent out any press releases?
Actually, the communications committee is working on press releases as we speak for the convention. Be awesome.
Yeah, because it'd be nice to have some media coverage, especially given all of the stuff that's been going on this year, which has been a really especially nasty year. Once again, we're going to have Ben talk about that in a little bit, as well as his campaign. And okay, so we're going to have vendors. Now, you have to pay to get into the convention, but the candidate forum, do you still have to pay to get into that, or is that something different? I believe it was free at the convention me and Lec were at. I could be wrong on that because I don't remember things.
I don't remember that either.
Yeah, that is correct. Friday night is free of charge, and that's the candidates forum will be Friday night. That tentatively right now, it's supposed to start around 7:45. Between 7:30 and 7:45, the candidate forum will be set, and it'll go on for about an hour and a half or hour and 15 minutes. And then we'll have some libertarian fun activities where actually I'm going to be auctioning off seats at our keynote speakers table.
Nice.
As well as our state chair, and also our luncheon speaker, Julie Fox, will be selling tickets to her table or upgraded the package, auctioning off seats for their tables.
And also I'd like to add that me and you have talked about this before, but we are going to be auctioning off a guest host spot on this show at the convention as well. I don't remember if I determined how much to start, but all the funds going right to the party, and they can do whatever the party can do whatever they want with the funds. But get in on that auction if you want to appear on this show. So there you go.
Okay, you have to stay here.
Awesome.
So, do you have what else? What's in the future for Lupe? Are you going to be planning on running for any sort of an office in the future, or just helping the party behind the scenes, or what do you have going on?
Yeah, I've actually thought about just kind of taking a break. Here in Bloomington, I've actually been asked by several people here to run for city council in the 2015 election in April. Considering that, I got to talk with my family. Of course, it takes a lot of time out of your personal life to run for office and then serve in office. So,
yeah, that's definitely, and especially for people in third parties like us. I mean, we don't have the finances to where we can just, take off work, and then that's really been hurting us, especially with, once again, the whole ballot access thing that we've gone through. But Lupe, I understand you got to get going pretty quick here, so. Once again, I'd just like to thank you. You can stick around for as long as you'd like. I'm not kicking you out. I'm just you were telling me before that you need to be off by 10. So there you go.
Well, thank you. I appreciate all of you inviting me on. Let me shut up so Ben, the actual important person that's on the show today, speak.
Now, everybody that's been involved in any way with the party, especially this year, is equally important. Because without everybody coming together, I don't think we would have been. I don't think we'd be on the ballot right now.
That's right.
It took everybody's effort. So, with that, once again, thank you, Lupe Diaz, and we will see you everybody at the Illinois State Party Convention on the weekend of the 12th, 13th, and 14th. By the way, September 11th is my birthday, so if you want to bring along a birthday gift, that's fine too. And so there you go. Well, thanks again, Lupe, and we will see you there.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thanks for joining us.
So, with that having been said, and I keep forgetting that I can change camera focus here to my co-hosts. Whoa, who was that? Who was that, Lec?
What's that?
Who's that? I see
Oh, that's
something
my
on your
son.
screen. That's your son. Is that a phone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's showing me something on the phone.
sounds like my kids. Okay, so welcome to the show. I think he can finally speak. Ben Koyl. Ben, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you, and especially thank you for everything you've been doing. Now, to anyone who's not been following the situation, Ben is the driving force behind defending our petitions, especially when the hearings came up to Chicago. Is that correct?
Well, I've been involved throughout the process, but I'm hesitant to say that I'm the driving force. I mean, I'm one of the many people who have been involved in pushing this process forward. I mean, there were probably dozens of people from our party that went down to Springfield to stand up to these challenges down there, and I've been involved in sort of the legal aspect of it. And we've had other people help us. Another attorney volunteered for our party as well. So we've had a lot of great support throughout the whole effort. It's been, and I think the process is over at this point. We're on the ballot, so we're looking forward to moving forward on this campaign.
To be perfectly honest, I'll rest comfortably once I see a ballot with our party name on it. I mean, you never know what kind of chicanery is going on in the back rooms in Chicago and Springfield, sadly.
Right. Well, they had until yesterday to appeal the board's decision. Now, I haven't heard anything from our co-counsel on this, and I was leaving for out of town yesterday, so I haven't received anything in the mail. But if they didn't get anything on file by yesterday, we're in the clear as far as getting on the ballot. We're certified. So.
Cool. So, first of all, tell us a little bit about yourself. What you do, and how long you've been with the party, and how you basically came to embrace the libertarian philosophy, I guess.
Oh, let's see here. I got my law license in 2007, and I've been in private practice since then. I've been self-employed with my own business since 2009. And I have one employee working for me. We do a lot of bankruptcy law and consumer.
Wait, hold on. Bankruptcy. Let me write your name down. Ben. Okay. Alrighty. Continue.
We do a lot of bankruptcies, and we do. I do commercial and consumer debtor creditor law, so litigation relating to breach of contract type actions. And basically, if I can't do it, I'll refer it out. So. As a small practitioner, that's what you kind of do. I got involved with the Libertarian Party. Not really involved. I voted for Gary Johnson in the last presidential election, so in that regard, that's how I got sort of interested in libertarianism. And I think the reason why I got interested in it is because, I've been running my own business, so you kind of see the amount of taxation that's going on in this country when you're having to pay payroll taxes and things of that nature. And I just, started getting sick of broken promises, essentially. I mean, I was an Obama supporter for his first campaign, and he made a lot of promises regarding scaling back military operations, and that just hasn't happened, I don't think, and we need to use our tax money in a more...
You know, it's funny you mentioned that. One of the things the opposition keeps bringing up is that the libertarians are going to siphon off votes from the Republicans and steal votes, and everyone knows my opinion on that. We don't steal votes because stealing is a form of aggression. I would say the libertarians appeal more to the intellect than to the emotion, and so we convince or sway them. We don't steal anything, but I find it interesting. People keep saying that we're going to steal votes from the Republicans, but in reality, your story is not the first one I've heard about somebody coming to libertarianism that was a Democrat. In fact, the it's Paul Clark. He's the head of the Will County Libertarian Party. He was telling me that he was an Obama supporter and he was a Democrat. And this is not the first time I've heard this.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I was young and stupid at the time or what, but you have a certain amount of ideals, and I was only, in 2008, I was 25,
Mm-hmm.
I think. Wait, what? 20. God.
I don't remember waking up this morning, so you're in good company.
Well, you know, you're coming from a different place, and when you support a politician, as much as I did, and he falls through on all the promises that he makes, it's kind of it's an eye-opening type of thing. So you come to realize that the Republicans and the Democrats are basically the same party, and the Libertarian Party is the party that appeals to my sense of social acceptance of other people, but also fiscal conservatism and things of that nature, and using tax money wisely. So that's kind of where I was coming at with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Lev.
I was going to say, and one thing that we have gotten now, not as many as I would have liked. There are still a lot of liberals who follow Obama, like the Pied Piper, but we have gotten a few who were really turned off by his, horrible record on civil liberties. Now, of course, one thing that makes me sick is how many liberals who bashed him who bashed Bush for his record on civil liberties, and then look the other way, or even excuse Obama for doing the same. But there are a few Democrats who have come to us for that reason, and then for that Obama was going to be softer on marijuana, and it turns out that he's been even worse than Bush. That Obama's continued not only to stay at war, but threaten to get us in new wars. So. Yeah, clearly, in fact, there's a group on Facebook that I get a kick out of called Where is the Anti-War Left? It really sums up how badly Obama has, strayed from liberal principles, and how they've, how so many people have failed to take action. But yeah, we have gotten some Democrats to come over to our side for that reason. And I think the breakdown of Gary Johnson's votes was, I think it was like 51% Republican, 38% Democrat, and then the rest were independents.
Okay, you know what? I hate to say this, but it just occurs to me every time I see, whenever we do the show, like, and I see you see your camera there. It always hit me. I could swear that came from. I've seen that from somewhere before, some movie, and it just hit me. Your setup there looks like something out of the movie Manos: The Hands of Fate.
Well,
Fans of Mystery Science Theater 3000 know what I'm talking about.
Never seen that one.
Well, if you see it, see the Mystery Science Theater version. Don't see the unedited one, which I have. Ugh, that's horrible. But oh gosh, and of course I had a point, but it was now it's.
I think I could probably get back on track a little bit.
Yeah, let's do that, because we need some sanity here.
You were talking about stealing votes, and we all hear that type of talk, and when I think about that is when they're saying we're stealing votes, they're saying that the Republicans or the Democrats have ownership of these votes, right? So
I make that argument. It's a very arrogant argument, right. And if you really want to get down to it, stealing implies the use of force. And we in the Libertarian Party are against the use of force or fraud to get our way. But, and this ties in with what's going on, what the Republican Party is doing to us, that is definitely force. So I'd like to have your comments on the situation going on.
Great point, Jim. Great point.
Well, I assume you guys are talking about some of the strong-arm tactics that the Republicans were taking part in.
Oh, excuse me.
Well, yeah, I mean, on Thursday I spent all day trying to file complaints with both the Attorney General's office and the State's Attorney's office, and I thought it funny that both sides wanted to give me the brush off, and given that Governor Quinn had called for an investigation not a day before, and the reason why I'm getting in their faces about this is because at least I believe that based on the transcripts and the affidavits that the security company collected, that they engaged in intimidation and deception and trying to prevent us to get on the ballot, and that's a felony in Illinois. So we're trying to keep this in front of the media. It's really important that an investigation happen, at least something happen, not just lip service. So we're going to keep on this,
And by the way, I would like to give a shout out to the Chicago Sun-Times. They are the only media outlet in the area that's been covering this, and they've been covering it well. Finally, finally, just this last week, with some more revelations that the Sun-Times actually dug up, has it hit all of the other media outlets in Chicago. And shame on all of the Chicago media outlets, with the exception of the Sun-Times, for sitting on this for so long. We have way too many media outlets in this city that are just playing the, they're holding on to their interests because they don't want to lose access to whatever, to politicians or whatever. Kudos to the Sun-Times for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the photo they have with the Cook County Commissioner Gorman, and there's Rauner and Morrison of Morrison Security, arm in arm. I love it.
Yep. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the Sun-Times article, and I'm going to post the link to the most current one in the show notes. The revelation came out that Rauner's campaign gave that what is his name, Sean Morrison, $6,500.
Right.
The Republican Party, has paid John Fogerty, as the attorney for the objecting parties for this our ballot nomination objection, and they paid him over $53,000. And he's the guy who actually hired Morrison's security company. The attorney hired Morrison Security. Sean Morrison is a Republican Central Committeeman and deputy chair of the Cook County Republican Party. So when Bruce Rauner is going on and responding to these, in the Sun-Times article, saying he has no idea what's going on, that's just a little bit disingenuous in my opinion. He's a businessman. He's supposed to know what his money is doing for him. I mean, that's how he didn't make his money by luck. He knows exactly what is going on. So.
And the thing is, he's also an attorney, so he should know what the consequences are going to be of his actions.
Exactly. And then, and then I was sitting at the airport yesterday morning waiting for my flight to leave, and I see a Bruce Rauner ad come on the TV, and vote for Bruce Rauner. I'm for free and open elections. And I think that all parties, regardless of being independent or whatnot, should have this and that. I'm just like, how can you... We have to make people understand that he's talking out of both sides of his mouth here.
Remember Obama saying, not back at the first term, that he won't stoop to any tactics to sway any voters or get on the this is the same guy that kicked his opponents off. Right.
I remember back in the day, we had a candidate, Al Salvi, going up against Jesse White. Now, Jesse White, he's a Democrat, but I think he's probably the only honorable politician we have in the state of Illinois currently. But they made a thing where they were going to have a campaign. It was going to be free of any sort of personal attacks or whatever. And then at the last minute, when it was clear that Al Salvi was going to lose and lose big, he started out on a series of attack ads. I mean, say one thing, do another, but that's Illinois politics.
Yeah, and one thing I've been meaning to say that I've mentioned in past episodes, but I can't say it enough for the people who are joining us for the first time. I think Ralph Nader said it best. When he was accused of costing Gore the 2000 election, Nader got 2.6% of the vote that year as the candidate for the Green Party. He said it is utter arrogance to say that Al Gore was entitled to the votes of people who didn't want to vote for him.
Well, that's a total interesting situation by itself, because the ballot, which was the huge question mark, was they say, people got confused and accidentally voted for Nader when it should have been going to Al Gore. They totally forget that the committee that approved the ballot, which consisted, I believe, of 2 Democrats and 1 Republican, the ballot design passed with all 3 of the people accepting it. So no one to blame. But as everyone says in that situation, if Al Gore would have won Tennessee, there wouldn't have been a problem. He couldn't win his home state, so that tells you something right there.
Well, look, and if 2 point whatever % is make or break, maybe your campaign wasn't that strong, and if the Republican and Democrat are that close, that should tell you maybe just how similar they really are. If they're near 50% all the time between each other, that 2% becomes a critical number. Perhaps you should not be voting for one of those 2, or it doesn't matter which one you do.
It occurs to me that the whole situation is the fact that nobody actually anymore likes the candidates that are running, and so they're voting against the other candidate.
Yeah, I mean,
that's the only thing I can chalk up to close elections. Nobody's been excited about a candidate since.
A lot of people were excited. Yeah, there were some people excited about Obama the first time, but then the second time, almost all the Obama support was just, it was anti-Romney more than anything else. Similarly, when I was reaching out I campaigned for Gary Johnson. I went door to door, handed out literature, and I posted a ton of things for him on Facebook, and dozens of Romney supporters got on me saying I was helping elect Obama, and I am not exaggerating when I say that not one of them ever said anything good about Romney, the guy who they wanted me to vote for.
That's politics in Illinois in general.
Oh my goodness.
And like when I was campaigning first for Ron Paul and then for Gary Johnson, I was saying tons of good things about those people. Telling about their records, because they're two extremely rare examples of major politicians whose record, indicates a strong adherence to principle and small government.
I'm going to start a new logical fallacy here. Everybody knows about the Godwin law, which is he who brings up Hitler in an argument first loses. I'm going to stop comparing people to Hitler and just start using Al Capone. I'm sure Bruce Rauner and Pat Quinn are nice guys, but I've heard that Al Capone was a nice guy too. So at any rate, Ben, continue on about our ballot. What's our ballot access? What do we have going on at this point? We're obviously on the ballot, but
right.
Is there anything you can talk about the case going on currently?
Well, I mean, the thing is, it's just that it's up to the state agencies to move forward on the investigation, and I've sent them. Well, I'll be sending more information to them hopefully in the next few days when I have time to review it. But I've sent over the entire hearing transcripts to the Attorney General and to the state's attorney's office. I've sent over a number of the affidavits that were collected by Morrison Security to try to get our petition circulator, named Sarah Dart, off her signatures kicked off the ballot. So I was trying to explain to them that there's more than just a couple people that were intimidated. I believe there could be up to dozens of people that were deceived by Morrison Security. Do you guys want me to kind of do more of a background of like the whole process, because it's kind of involved? I mean,
you can give us a brief rundown. But before you do that,
sure.
You said that we've got a case pending. Our case is pending. How can people contact people that are supposedly going to listen to that? And I'm going to put it up on the screen here.
Well, let me just be clear. The ballot process is over with, as far as I'm concerned, as far as I know, because we haven't received any appeal from the Board of Elections, so that process is over, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I have to confirm for sure when I check. I mean, we should have been served something by process server by mail by now, but
you would think.
Yeah. But I didn't actually file any formal complaints with either agency. I mean, there was nothing really to file. I mean, they took notes. I gave them. They gave me their time and listened to me. At least they appeared to try to listen to me. And the Attorney General was pretty. I had to nail him down for a press release. Basically, they didn't want to promise me anything. So I got them to promise that they would respond within a reasonable time, which, you know what reasonable could mean.
Just fast and speedy trial.
Right, and so
we have an email address of anyone that we can contact.
Yeah, I mean, I can.
So that our listeners and our viewers can get in touch with these people to tell them that we're pretty ticked off and we demand a full investigation into this.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna have to look online real quick, but if you go on the Attorney General's website, they have contact number website as well. So maybe you can just post their websites on the.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that then. Now that's the state attorney general. We're not talking the local office. We're talking the main.
Yeah, Lisa Madigan. And what they were saying.
Oh, I said Big Dog and Lisa Madigan. I hope she doesn't get ticked off like Sarah Palin did.
Well, the attorney I spoke with at her office was pretty ticked off at me, I have to tell you that, because he didn't appreciate me putting him on the spot and making him make a decision that day.
Oh, good. I'm glad you did that.
He told me I should have made an appointment, and I was like,
we can pencil you in for December 3rd.
I was like, because at this point it was getting kind of heated, and I go, sir, I don't need to make an appointment because you work for me. I'm a taxpayer.
Beautiful.
So
that's great.
So he was trying to say, well, we're in an election.
I love the whole I'm a taxpayer thing, because George Carlin once had a great bit about getting pulled over by a cop, and he's like, wait a minute. You're a public servant. I pay your salary. Get me a glass of water.
He couldn't say anything to that because he knows it's true.
Yeah, no, it is.
I don't need it. I was like, he's trying to say because I should make with. He's like, how would you like it if I walked into your office without an appointment? And I was like, how is that the same thing? Anyways, so anyways, he was trying to say, well, we're in an election year, so we don't think it's a conflict of interest. And then I'm saying, well, the Attorney General Act specifically mentions election law, so I think you guys need to do something. They sent me over to the state's attorney's office, and I talked to them. So we're going to be issuing a press release next week, and hopefully holding a full press conference the following Monday with the entire slate to try to force the issue. And because you know how it goes, if we let this go, it'll fall off the media scope, basically.
Now, have you guys tried contacting the Institute for Justice? I don't know if that's their thing, but the Institute for Justice or the ACLU on this?
No, not yet. I'm going to be working on filing a complaint with the Department of Justice shortly. So
that's the federal office, correct?
Right, the Civil Rights Election Division. So we can do that online. I'll probably take care of that this weekend, but we'll get that filed. And you know, it's probably going to come down to the feds doing something, because as we all know, in Illinois, we don't like to prosecute or to crack down on public corruption. We feel that's the federal government's job, apparently. I wanted to tell you guys something. There was a study done by UIC in 2012 that looked at all the public corruption convictions from 1976 to 2010. And the Northern District of Illinois had over 1,500. It led the nation in convictions. Wow. So, I mean, we all know that's the case, but when you see the numbers, it's pretty amazing.
Now, I don't know if you've... were you going to say something, Lec?
Yeah, I'm curious, has the ACLU ever taken a case to defend a third party?
I don't know.
I have to look that up. What was that?
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah, I have no idea.
It's definitely something to look into, because they actually, if I'm not mistaken, have in the past actually filed some lawsuits in favor of gun owners, and I can't remember what that was. I'm pretty sure they have, but you know, Ben, something I wanted to bring up to you. This is something interesting I found when researching ballot access. This was on actually on the Wikipedia website for ballot access. And I've brought this up quite a bit, and I'm going to post a link to it. But President George H.W. Bush signed the Copenhagen document of the Helsinki Accords that states in part, 7.5, respect the right of citizens to seek political or public office individually or as representatives of political parties or organizations without discrimination. 7.6, respect the right of individuals and groups to establish in full freedom their own political parties or other political organizations, and provide such political parties and organizations with the necessary legal guarantees to enable them to compete with each other on a basis of equal treatment before the law and by the authorities. And that was the Copenhagen document of the Helsinki Accord. Looks like section 7.5, 7.6. And of course, let's see here. The U.S. and Switzerland are the only countries in the world that don't have national ballot access standards for federal elections. The United States has been criticized by the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe for its harsh ballot access laws in the past. In 1996, U.S. delegates responded to the criticism by saying unfair ballot access could be remedied through existing appeal and regulatory structures and did not represent a breach of the Copenhagen commitments. Alrighty, that's a bunch of baloney sausage. Let's see, going back, since 1985, Democrats and Republicans, including John Conyers, D. Michigan, Tim Penny, D. Minnesota, and Ron Paul, R. Texas, have repeatedly introduced in the U.S. House of Representatives a bill that would set maximum ballot access requirements for House elections. Bill has only made it to the floor once in '98 when it was defeated 62 to 363.
God.
Yeah, and I have the sneaking suspicion Ron Paul was the only Republican that voted in favor of it. This was in '98.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
while some supporters of easy ballot access seek congressional intervention, other reformers are happy Congress has not mandated stricter access laws in all states. Reducing access requirements at the local level would be easier than doing so federally if Congress wanted to guarantee its re-election. So, at any rate, I thought I'd bring that up. I don't know if you had ever heard that, Ben.
I hadn't, but, you know, from basically, you know, the Democrats and the Republicans, they're not looking out for everyday people. They're looking out for themselves. It's a business.
Yeah.
Why would you want to support a law that would undermine your ability to have a monopoly over the political process? It just doesn't. It wouldn't make sense to me if I was running either one of those parties. But so obviously,
in a nutshell, the Democrats and Republicans are nothing more than another corporation taking advantage of the legislative system to their advantage.
Yeah, I mean they're totally taking advantage of. You know, look at the cost of these elections, how much they spend on advertising, and it just comes down to basically who can spend more money and who can raise more money, and a lot of that comes from corporations, obviously, and they run the show. I mean, I hate to say it, but
number one in its class, better than the leading brand, new and improved. Vote for me. It's the same.
Okay, I am going to be bringing in our friend Brian Lambrecht here into the conversation.
All right.
And I'm sure he has a few things to say. So, but I mean,
can I
sure,
plug some? I've been working
plug
with
all you want.
Yeah, I've been working with a reporter named Doug Eibendahl. He writes for RepublicanNewsWatch.com.
I saw that, and the irony of the Republican Newswatch covering the story is just delicious.
Well, he's been really interested in. I mean,
Doug's a reasonable guy. He really.
Yeah, he does not like the establishment in the Republican Party in these days. I mean, he used to be the general counsel for the Republican Party. I don't know if you guys knew that or not, but
I've saw a couple of articles on his that site, and he does have that in the about section there.
But I'll talk to anybody who's going to get our message out, basically, and he's been really great.
For anybody who's wondering what Ben just said wow about, here's our friend from the DuPage Libertarian Party. For those who are listening, he's dressed up like Shirley Temple.
Why?
His screen just went black. He's oh God, there we go. Yeah, he looks like he should be in. He just took off. I'll have to invite him back.
He looks like Skeletor.
He looked like somebody that was in Guar.
Yeah, I loved the Beavis's reaction whenever a Guar video came on.
Did you ever hear? Okay, side thing. Did you ever hear Guar's rendition of "Carry On My Wayward Son"?
Oh my God, no!
It's on YouTube. Look it up. The had this thing where they brought in bands from all over, and they had like a list of tunes they wanted them to cover. Stuff like Driver 8 from REM, and stuff like that. One of them was on "Carry On Wayward Son." And Guar was one of the last bands, and that was one of the last songs to be chosen. And Guar covered it. Guar was like, oh God, no, it was actually pretty dang good. But the lead singer had his own awesome lyrics. It was like, "No, your life's no longer empty. Get off the couch and get a goddamn job."
Oh no.
So okay, here's I can't think of anybody's name from Guar, but here's Skeletor.
Can you guys see me? Can you guys hear me?
He's the one that just died. Odious, I believe.
Odious, yeah, odorous, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, and they burned his costume on stage after he died, if I'm not mistaken, as a kind of a funeral pyre thing.
One of the guys from Guar died?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
About 2-3 months ago, maybe longer.
Oh, what happened to him?
Heart attack? I think it was a heart attack.
Something like that.
At any rate, yeah. This has been Guar Talk. So, okay, so Brian.
It's squaw. Jim, you can do a better Beavis than I can.
Yeah, Gwar.
And I remember one time he said...
It's okay, it's just me. It's just me. It was just a mask.
Because I remember one time Beavis, like, he was about to, you know, just, like, completely lose it. Like, he's like you watch TV all day and everything sucks, and then you see this video and it's all worth it.
Okay, we're off on a tangent here, but I have to address something. One of my favorite bands of all time is King's X, and one time they were doing the King's X video. No, was it a King's X video they were doing it? You know what? I don't think it was. There was this one time that there was some guy on air, and he had like the really long hair, and Beavis was like, "Hey, that guy looks like Jesus." Yeah, Christ rocks. Okay, so Brian, you wanted in on this falderall. So what you got?
I wanted to jump in a little bit. I've been running around. I got some signs that we're getting everywhere. I'm sure you already talked about the convention that's coming up in a couple weeks.
Uh-huh.
And we've been on a media blitz. Ben, you've been talking about the complaints that you filed.
Right.
And we've been getting a lot. I just did an interview with WSIU, NPR radio down south. The Chicago Tribune is picking up on our story. I've been doing interviews all week on this. And it
the
looks
Tribune
like,
has been picking up on the story, finally.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, they're a couple weeks behind on this, which is pretty bad for the Chicago Tribune. I think they might have been deliberately ignoring us. I don't know. And I've been sending out some little press releases around about town because, you know, after all, Bruce Rauner claims that he knew absolutely nothing. He was shocked to find out that there was gambling going on in Nick's Cafe.
Shocked, I tell you!
No idea. So my whole thing is, if Bruce Rauner knew that this was all going on, well, then he's a scoundrel. But if he didn't know what was going on, well, then he's an inept businessman. He's an inept manager. If he can't keep out the corruption going on in his own campaign, how can he be trusted to clean up the massive corruption pile of snot that is the state of Illinois? So I'm pushing that out. Yeah.
You're supposed to know this stuff. I mean, you know what? These people could learn a lot from like Restaurant Stakeout and you know, and Mystery Diners and all those shows where they got all the cameras. These clueless owners not knowing what's going on in the restaurant behind their back and then losing all the damn money. I mean, they should watch that shit. Or I'm sorry, that's an edit. We're at the 1 hour and 13-minute mark. I'm going to note that. Okay. At any rate.
And by the way, you have a check that's been sent on the mail in the mail on the way to your show.
Cool. I'll make sure I get the drugs to you in good time.
Well, they're already here, so it's all good.
Oh.
No.
How do you think I showed up at your show? So, anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, Rauner. So today on we're sending the DuPage Libertarians are sending out a newsletter today, and on DuPageLibertarians.org, it's going to be published in a little bit, probably after I do this, because I wasn't going to jump on your show, but I got, you know, I was listening and I had some time, and I was like, I love your show. I love coming in and seeing you guys. It's so much fun.
Everybody, first, before we continue, we have the Q&A on, so if you got any questions or whatever for any of our guests, just jump on in. And the check he's talking about is from the 1st of September to first show of September all the way to the end of the year. The DuPage Libertarian Party is a sponsor. So remember, it's a good time for the great taste of the DuPage Libertarian Party.
I like where this is going. I like that you've been spinning gears on this already. So anyway, on DuPageLibertarians.org, I'm publishing a blog today, and it's a letter that I'm going to send to the Rauner camp, and it basically is saying, Mr. Rauner, we would like an apology. He's admitted that, what did he say? He didn't admit that his group was doing any wrongdoing. He's trying to avoid saying that. But he did say that he was outraged and appalled by what has been found out and what he's been reading in the papers. And I believe it was one of his spokesmen who said that Bruce wants everybody to be engaged in the political process. And if that's true,
okay,
I want an apology. The Libertarian Party of Illinois, I think, is owed an apology for what went on, and that's not too much to ask for. I mean,
and you know, I actually put up a blog post on our Radio Foobar page today. I think this is the first time I ever put up a blog post, but I was responding to a friend on Facebook, and I decided to copy and paste that and put it up on webpage, tsplive.com, and it was about all of the events with the situation going on up to this point, as far as I am aware. So there's that. But one thing you were saying there about Rauner's reaction, I remember a scene in the movie Dogma where the two leads were going up to George Carlin, who was playing the cardinal at this Catholic church, and George Carlin's like, the Catholic Church never makes mistakes, and they're like, well, what about the Inquisition, and what about this, that, and the other? And then Carlin's like, oh, okay, well, mistakes have been made. Oh gosh, we match.
I have that too.
So, okay, Lec and Ben, you guys need hats. Okay, so continue on, Brian.
Yeah, Jim. So anyway, yeah, but I'm publishing this, and I want to see if I can get a response from the Rauner camp, and maybe he'll say that. I mean, for example, one of his biggest things is he wants to shake up Springfield, he wants to clean up Illinois, and he says repeatedly that he's not a career politician, he's a businessman. Businessmen are successful because they build they build relationships on a foundation of trust. Well, if you're going to, carry that forward into your election, into your campaign as governor of Illinois, well, then you should start by repairing it with the Illinois Libertarians, this isn't like some little thing where he accidentally sent an email or he made a phone call or he made a comment. No, this was 2 months of hardcore investigation going after us, of intense scrutiny of our petitions, going back to the end of June. This isn't just some little thing that just kind of happened out of nowhere and, oops, oh, we got caught with something. No, it was very, very deliberate. So I would like an apology for it, and I'm going to put this out today, and I'm going to see if it does anything this Labor Day weekend. Who knows?
Ben, do you have anything to say to that?
Well, I'm completely behind what Brian is doing, and I mean, Bruce Rauner has spent. I wonder how much he spent trying to object to our petition, because I bet you he spent more money than we did trying to defend it. I mean, these guys. I think an investigation, like I said, needs to happen. At least Morrison Security needs to be held up to the fire, in my opinion, because if...
Oh, and speaking of Morrison Security, there is an automatically created Facebook page for them, and I've gone over there and left a review, and another person has gone over there and left a review. So search Morrison Security on Facebook and leave a little bit of a review. I actually was going to leave a review on the Better Business Bureau website, but then I thought better of that one.
I can tell you exactly where they're located. They're on 127th Street in Alsip. If anyone wants to go down there and hold up some signs.
Yeah, as we were saying when Lupe was on earlier, the second day, the first full day of our state party convention out in, I can't remember the town, but they're actually having a fundraiser for Rauner, and Sean Morrison is hosting it, and it's free to get in, donations accepted. So if there was more time during the convention, I would have loved to have gotten a contingent of people to go over there and have a protest. But I don't know. There's going to be a whole lot going on at the state convention that I don't want to miss too. So it's gonna that's a weird situation. And speaking of weird, back to Brian.
I have. By the way, if anybody wants any, I have. Dozens of Julie Fox signs. If anybody wants to get some Julie Fox for Illinois Comptroller signs, I've got plenty of them with the brackets. Stick them in the lawn. And now that you mention it, Ben, you've given me a little bit of an idea.
Oh, hey, by the way, Brian, Eric was mentioning earlier that he ran for office, and he's still got a bunch of the in-the-ground brackets for signs. They're like
I got a slew of sign wires.
That would actually, you know what, Julie just bought another 100 of them. But hang on to those, because chances are Matt Skopek or Chris Michael or Ben Koyl may be purchasing some signs. And when you get the signs printed up, the brackets come separately, and they're pricey. They're about $1.09 each. If you wouldn't mind donating those, I mean, if you can't, are they sitting somewhere taking up space? We'll put them to good use.
Absolutely, yeah. These are I don't know what you call them. They're not like the H wires or something, but they're just for the plastic bag type signs that you slip over the wire. And I'll measure them to see what size they are, if they're appropriate for wherever you're having the signs made. Because those come in a couple of sizes, vary by an inch or a half, so they don't work.
Yeah, I thought most of them are kind of adaptable. But if you've got them, hey, every little bit helps. And you know what? You know the first place we could use those? We could go to 127th Avenue in Alsip. And we could maybe, like, every other morning, just have a couple more of those things show up, maybe in front of the building, to the side, maybe right across the street. find the ramp, the off ramp from the 294 that's nearby over there that Mr. Morrison takes every day. He goes to his agency and have 5 of them lined right up there for him. I think we can put those signs to some good use. Let's make him get out of his car and walk over and take it down.
I work down there. I know exactly where we could put these signs.
This is what being a libertarian is about. I like where this is going.
I'm not sure about that, but it's fun.
Yeah, you know, we say a lot of things that we'd like to do, and a lot of it like tongue in cheek, you know. But I mean, this in all seriousness, this is a big, serious issue that attention needs to be drawn to, and anything we can do, be it protests to doing some sort of humorous things. Did you see the one image? The one image, oh gosh, I don't know I believe I saw it on the DuPage LP, Facebook page. It was a guy who had like a holster on with 2 guns in it, and the top said, "I'm from the Illinois GOP," and at the bottom, you know, "I'm here to talk about your petitions." And the one I created was oh gosh, I cannot remember. I think it was the Piranha Brothers from a famous Monty Python sketch where they were threatening a army base office and are trying to get protection money out of them. And you know, on the skit they were saying, "How many tanks do you have?" You better be careful. Tanks break. Everything breaks, don't they? And I added the caption, "Nice petitions you got here. It would be a shame if they would happen to break. Everything breaks."
It would be a shame if something were to happen to your petitions, wouldn't it? You just hear that Eastern European accent show up when these guys talk.
And you know what? I actually did create a meme about one of the people who are challenging our petitions, but I only have shared that with a few select people because the guy is an attorney and I don't want to get sued. I believe you are one of the ones I shared it with, Brian.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. And you know what's funny? At this point, I would like to send out, and I won't mention their names, but I will on DuPageLibertarians.org in a few weeks. I want to extend a thank you to the 2 people who objected to us and to the GOP lawyer for the tactics that were used, because
I think we can say
these 3 dedicated Republicans, these 3 very dedicated GOPers in Illinois, have done more for us than most of the libertarians going around and trying to spread the word. They've helped us get so much media attention just by being douchebags.
And by the way, I confirmed with Steve Toohey that we can use the word douchebags, so have at it.
Oh, good. Oh, are there new rules? Do we have to watch our language when we're on here? Is that a new
We have to a little bit because the replay, I got a replay on a southwestern suburban podcast network. He's only got 1 show on it right now, and that's his own, but he's adding other shows slowly for the weekend, and we're on Sundays at noon. It's Tooheyville.com, TOUHYVILLE.com. He's got his own live show every weekday morning from, I believe it's 6:30 to 9:30, and it's incredibly hilarious. And I pipe in from time to time on the show. So
that's not bad. Hey, toning down your language a little bit to get into a wider market, that's not a bad trade-off.
I'm nothing if not a whore.
I have a check did I mention there's a check on the way to your house today, Jim?
Money, 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 money. It's a gas. Take both hands and make yourself a star.
16.
Anyway, hey, Alec, what you got going on in the background there?
See, going down now. See, what's...
Okay, at any rate, we're just about out of time here. So
can I plug my campaign a bit?
Do any sort of plugging you want.
Okay.
Go for it.
Well, okay, my website is Koyl4IL attorneygeneral.com. You can donate campaign contributions on my website through PayPal.
5, 4, 3,
and
2.
If you want to request a sign or any type of can you guys hear me? Okay, if you want okay, if you want to request a sign or something, you can go on my website and request that. I'll be at the convention on Friday taking questions, and people can reserve a sign at that point. But most importantly, I need money to run my campaign, so any donations that I can get are much appreciated.
So, hey, do you have bumper stickers?
I'm going to be ordering them. I mean, I want people to kind of request them so I know exactly how many to get, but I'll probably have some ready for the convention though.
If you have any ready, and they're less than like a couple of bucks, sign me up for one.
Oh, sure. Thanks.
I'm not in the market for bumper stickers, but I will definitely take yard signs. I'll put, give me half a dozen to a dozen of them, and I got friends and family and relatives and people on my block. Yard signs go very far with me. So.
Oh, and by the way, speaking about yard signs, especially if they're of the plastic corrugated variety, just throwing this out there, you don't need the wire. They make excellent sun shields for your car. Just this is something I don't do, but back into the parking spot and put that up as a sun shield, and you're set.
That's very good.
I actually did that one time back when I was a Republican. I had a Bob Dole one, and I parked it right at a parking spot right by the entrance of a strip mall I was working at, and I put that as a sun shield, and everybody pulling into the mall or into the strip mall saw the sign. So I'm not making the Bob Dole mistake again, but there you go. So okay, so like I said, put me down for at least one bumper sticker. I can't really do yard signs because
you don't have a yard.
We live with the mother-in-law.
Oh.
It's her yard, and she's a Democrat election judge. So so there you go.
Right there.
If anyone wants
and fun was had by all.
Yeah, if anyone wants a sign, they could log on. They put their address on there, and I'll have someone deliver a sign to them, either me or someone else. I don't know.
That's great.
How much are the signs? Do you know?
Oh boy, I haven't ordered any yet. So hopefully.
I got some links for you for some good deals. I'll send you stuff later today.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some eventually. We're all working. We're all pretty much middle class working guys. With this campaign, so. It's been a lot of work, but it's been worth it. I appreciate you guys' time.
And you know what? One of the things that pisses me off most about the whole election dealie. Oh, okay. Oh, we got a couple of. I haven't been monitoring the Q&A like I normally do. Mike Buller said something about getting pictures. Emre Amir said, "Hey, I like bald. And what is the color of your glasses?" Now, there's 4 of us wearing glasses right now, and I believe the 5th one has glasses, so I'm not sure which one you're talking about. Mine are clear, but I've got bicycling glasses, which are not clear, but those are in my car, and I'm not running them out to get them with only 2 minutes left in the show. So
I have black glasses, and I purchased these before it became popular with the hipsters, so I'm not one of those.
If you missed me saying so earlier, he looks exactly like Gordon Freeman from the Half-Life games.
And I totally will own up to that. That guy's one of my heroes, man.
He is the most badass physicist ever, I'm telling you. Now, how you can survive a resonance cascade like that is beyond me. So, anyway, hey, thank you for being on the show, Ben.
You're welcome.
We will be speaking to you in a couple of weeks at the Illinois LP convention.
In Bolingbrook at the Holiday Inn.
At the Holiday Inn, and I'm going to be there all 3 days, mainly because I work a mile from the place. So I'm going to have to probably borrow somebody's hotel room on Friday so I can get a shower before I go into the facility. So if anyone there wants to donate a hotel room so I can get a shower, let me know. I was going to say I'll premise.
Cornfest.
What? Oh yeah, you guys.
Don't forget to mention Cornfest.
Yes, and okay. Emery Amir says, which country is the team Fenerbahce? Okay. No idea. At any rate, so yes, we're going to be at the Corn Festival Parade as well, and I am going to be marching in it if my foot is up to it.
I'll be there.
Foot problems. I'll be there one way or another, but it's possible I might not be marching if I have to have surgery on my foot. But hopefully I won't, and
I'm getting a pickup truck for that parade, so you can ride in the back if you want.
Oh, Mike Buller says you also look like Gary Oldman.
Dude,
which I can see that too.
Another guy that's awesome. So
at any rate, with that we got to go. So once again, from the 2nd floor of the Side Project Tower in Morris, Illinois, this is Jim Goebel.
And Lex still muted. Hey, from Lockport, Illinois, Eric Ferguson.
And I got to unmute Lex here real quick.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Nope, he's still muted. Hold on. I remember, no offense, like I had to mute you because you had some noise going on in the background.
Oh, okay. How long ago?
About 15 minutes ago. So
Okay.
at any rate, who are you and where are you from?
Oh, like to learn from Indianapolis, of course.
And we will see you all again next week. We do not have anything lined up as of yet, but I'm thinking about taking a break from political and just doing a silly show next week. So there you go. We will see you all later, and have a good time. Oh, also thanks to, I shouldn't forget, thanks to Brian Lambrecht for being part of the show as well. So.
Oh, thanks for letting me on. I like to chip in and just throw things around. Ben, you did awesome today. Thanks for promoting your campaign. You rock. And you did awesome this week too, Ben, with your press conference and filing those complaints. We are all indebted to your work.
And we will see you all again next week.
Take care, guys.
See ya.
Bye-bye.